Hey everyone, I am Lori Ricciardoni, and you are listening to A Taste for All Seasons. This show is a cooking, cultural, and inspirational way for us to explore the world of food with the philosophy of eating with the seasons and why this is so beneficial. You are listening to WPVM LP 103.7 FM in Asheville, North Carolina. Welcome. As we continue our journey through food, we will let the seasons have the guiding role, which means we will take a walk down strawberry fields, which will comprise two delicious desserts: my almond strawberry shortcake that is magically moist and is gluten-free, and a seasonal shortcut for a savory dessert that might surprise you. There's nothing like spotting the first sweet, ripe strawberries of the season at the farmer's market. And although we are a couple of weeks into peak season, you won't want to miss the chance to try some of the sweetest strawberries that are picked at their peak. In fact, I'll share one of my kitchen tips. When buying at the farmer's market, strawberries or a favorite peach, they might only be around for a couple of weeks. So buy as many as you can without hoarding when they're ripe. Put them in the freezer if need be so that they'll stay fresh when you're ready to make a sweet treat. Today, we're going to be talking to the owner of Liberty House Cafe. It's a local cafe that utilizes cooking with the seasons in Asheville. And right now they have strawberries on the menu. It's one of my favorite places for so many reasons, and you can always find a gluten-free replacement to go with that delicious savory sandwich. So if you are a curious cook, you are going to want to stick around. So go get a cup of tea, get cozy, and join me on this enchanting journey through food. So before I bring my guests to the microphone, let me tell you a little bit about, it's actually Sydney and David Beverly. Is that right? Mm-hmm. But we have Sydney here with us today. David is still working. So let me just tell you a little bit about them. Sydney is from South Carolina, and she attended the College of Charleston with a bachelor's in poetry. She taught elementary school for a while. It was in Charleston where she met her husband, David, while he was attending culinary school. And they started dating and working in restaurants together in 2011. Fast forward, they moved to Asheville in 2016, where David was hired at Liberty House in the spring shortly after they opened in 2017. And after deciding teaching wasn't the right path for her, Sydney was hired at Liberty as a server in the summer of 2017 and fell in love with it right away. It is a passion job for sure. David became head chef. Sydney took on the role of general manager. And it was in March of 2020 where Sydney and David took ownership of the cafe. So I'd like to give a warm welcome to Sydney. Welcome, Sydney.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, this is wonderful for me. As I said, your cafe is one of my favorite places to go. So, every business has a mission statement or a vision, what they see for themselves when starting something like that. And I know that you took over the business, but I imagine you had a mission, you have a mission statement. And with all the challenges, with everyday restaurant life, how do you stay in alignment with that? And what is your mission statement for the cafe?
So our mission statement it changes here and there, depending on who says it. But it used to be, we bring you the world, from like organic coffees from all over the world and, spices and flavors. But I would say that mine and David's mission statement, at least for the past year, has been to serve the community and serve the community well. We care so much about our customers and the space that we have, and we feel so proud and blessed to have the opportunity to be able to do what we do. Every day at the restaurant, we put our heads down and it's crazy busy all the time. And
yes,
it takes us, we have to kind of take a step back and kind of look at the bigger picture to really see like, wow, like this is really cool what we get to do. This is really cool. The space that we have and being able to feed the community really good food.
And yes, and you absolutely do that. And you have this incredible outside space, which has a beautiful, green area. You're pet friendly, you're kid friendly.
Mhm.
You have beautiful fruit trees on the property. And for me, it's just always been a delight. I've been going there since I moved to Asheville almost 3 years ago. And you also have a little organic farm there, which I want to talk to you about that. And so that's just knowing that when I go there, and I see your fig trees and I know, okay, when they're ripe, figs are going to be coming on the menu. So that's very exciting to me. And would you say that your menu reflects what's in season and what you grow in the garden?
Yeah, I mean, we have things that we'll always have, like avocado toast and breakfast tacos and stuff. But we've been really focusing on doing seasonal specials. So we got some really good arugula that was local, and we've got strawberries that are local. So we're doing a strawberry salad right now with goat cheese and arugula. And once the kale in the garden starts coming up, we'll be using that for all sorts of things. It's just kind of, this is time of year where we see everything starting to sprout, and we're waiting on to use everything. However, we use for our produce, everything we grow is not enough.
Sure, of course.
To supplement.
No.
So all of our produce is locally sourced through Mountain Foods at the farmers market. So it just really depends on what they have that's good.
Yes.
And David's really good at being creative with what's in season.
Does he do the shopping at the market?
He does it over the phone.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so we've got a guy down there, and they bring us stuff pretty much every single day.
So would you say that then, whatever ingredients are available, whether in your garden or your farmer, that will dictate the menu?
Yeah. For the most part, especially in the, later spring and summer, we're getting into everything's just going to be super ripe. And we definitely want to highlight everything that we can.
Well, when I came in to the cafe not that long ago and I saw the strawberries on the menu in a salad, I was like, it's fantastic, because we're actually going to be talking about strawberries a lot today, because they're at their peak kind of right now, and we still have a couple of more weeks. So that's, for me, very, very exciting. What would you say is the most rewarding element about running the cafe? And I know you kind of can't speak for David, or maybe you can speak for David. I don't know. You probably could speak for David.
Yeah, I think for both of us, it's the people we've got to meet and to know. I've got friends of all ages, shapes, and sizes that I've just met who come in every day or every other day. And even we know each other for the past 3 years, and just getting to know their stories and getting to, kind of be involved, at least in some way, with all of our customers' lives is really fun and rewarding for us. People remember our names, we remember theirs.
Yes.
And it's great to create a place where people can feel comfortable and it's like theirs,
Makes me think of Cheers. I don't know if you know that reference.
Yeah, I sure do.
Where everyone knows your name. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And I think I called Curtis Eric for like 6 months or something before.
And he'll never correct you.
Well, he finally did. And it's like, so Curtis.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone in there is really, really sweet. And you guys do an incredible job with the ingredients. And I really appreciate that.
Well,
I know that you're people that come in that are regulars, I think as much as I do, they love coming to the cafe.
Yeah.
So do you have getting back to your beautiful little organic garden, do you have any future plans? I know your space is limited, to expand that in any way, or?
Well, so our landlord, Robert, he's the guy, I'm sure you've seen him. He's got the big straw hat he wears out there. He's the guy kind of in charge of manning the garden, and he and his son both live behind the building.
Okay.
And they've completely taken over both of their yards as well, like for their garden. So we have that that big front one, and then he's growing all sorts of different stuff in the back as well, which we get to use, and we're super thankful for.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that just for his family, or does he pay that forward to the cafe?
He pays that forward to us. There's no way he could possibly eat all that food. So
yes,
he's a great guy, and he helps us out and we help him out. So.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what, community is, right?
Yeah.
Just, helping everyone out and supporting each other as much as we can, and supporting our local farmers. I think for me, I know is so important. I have a direct relationship with my farmers here, and that's important, I think. I am completely gluten-free, and I'm always looking for new gluten-free options, as I'm sure many of the listeners here are curious about that as well. Any future plans to incorporate any additional gluten-free options in the bakery? And
yeah, so we just hired back in September our good friend Logan to do all the pastries, and she was a pastry chef at White Labs, but we scooped her up, and she's not super familiar with gluten-free baking, but she's starting to hone it in, and the more and more demand there is for it, the more we're gonna have more options for everybody. And we do make our gluten-free bread in house.
I know, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I eat gluten like nobody's business, but I love the gluten-free bread. We definitely, it's a conversation we've had with her, and we definitely want to expand more and be able to offer more.
Do you get a lot of requests?
Yes. And usually when we do have gluten-free pastries, they sell out like super quickly. Yes. So, and I know a lot of our customers are gluten sensitive, and we definitely are working on being more accessible for them.
Well, and you have, limited space. It's not a, really big kitchen. It's a small, relatively small kitchen. So
seems like it's getting smaller.
I would imagine that's the case. So I don't know if this might be a question for David, but I'll ask you as well. And what do you think David would say is the most rewarding thing about being a chef at the cafe?
I've asked him this before. I think he would say is like getting to have full creativity. He's worked in tons of kitchens before and served some great menus. But being able to be back in the back and start prepping things up and really get creative with the ingredients that we do have, it makes him feel great when people buy his specials. People are like, oh man, that was the best. I had this a couple of weekends ago. It's all him, and he feels really proud for that. And
well, he should. I always love coming in on your board, which is kind of butcher paper, I think, if my memory serves me. And, just the specials are written on there, and they're always seasonal and really innovative and creative. I really like the different, whether spices and just, the acid and a little bit of heat. And he does a really, really great job of mixing those elements that really make something taste delicious. So what do you see in the future for Liberty, or do you not really go that far? Do you just try to, kind of tackle everything, in that day, which is a lot?
This past year has definitely thrown us for a loop, but we are constantly thinking about growing and expanding. If we can somehow figure out how to build a second bathroom somewhere, we're going to do beer and wine to start out, and maybe stay open later in the evenings. David and I had a rehearsal dinner at Liberty House before we got married, and it was such a beautiful space. Like for an event at night, we had lights everywhere, and I would love to be able to offer that for other people. So we're one step at a time for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, we definitely want to expand and stay open later, and maybe offer dinner items in the future.
Or even, one thought came to my mind, smaller plates with the wine and beer.
Yeah.
Because the evening, it would be incredible to be able to come to your place in the evening.
I know.
Particularly in the warmer months where, it's a little bit lighter and, later and warmer. But you can do a lot of beautiful small plates with all the seasonal goodies that you...
I mean, I want to hang out there at night with a glass of wine,
Don't you do that now?
No, I usually, if I have to stay late, yes, but yeah, it's definitely something we want to do and we're excited about.
And I love that you and David are there. It's like it's your place. Of course, you need a couple of days off and you should take that, but that you're there, that's your home, that's your place.
Yeah.
And that has to feel, pretty good.
It does. I mean, we're tired a lot, but we wouldn't want it any other way. We gotta always be there.
Yes. Is there a chef that, this might be a question for David, but for you as well, a chef that you admire, and why that would be?
He's got tons of books in here. Francis Mallman, I know he loves. Ottolenghi, we watch all of his videos on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name, but he wrote The French Laundry in California. Thomas Keller. We're big Thomas Keller people.
One of my personal favorites.
Yeah. And, David was homeschooled in South Carolina, and a homeschooled Baptist, and grew up around his mom and his grandmother, who were excellent Southern cooks, just real good home cooking. So he learned a lot from his mom and his family, which, he's always trying to bring stuff to the table at Liberty House that, he grew up eating as well.
Does he make the grits at Liberty?
He does.
They're good grits. And
they're really good.
I am very particular about really all the food that I eat, but those grits, I was like, these are good grits.
They are. They're not good for you, but
once in a while.
once in a while. Yeah. We, from cooking in Charleston, he definitely perfected the grits. Yeah.
And I think, I share that with people that I work with as a health coach, and just as a chef as well. Mm-hmm. Everything in moderation. I think we should have whatever we want once in a while.
Me too.
Not to come from deprivation, but just be mindful about it.
Yeah.
And not too much corn, not too much starch, or, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. Tell us how people can find Liberty Cafe. Do you have a website, and just spell it out for them?
We do. It's libertyhousecafe.com. And, through the pandemic, we're still doing online ordering and curbside pickup. And you can order online through the website. We also have an Instagram, and we do have a Facebook. It's me. I don't post on there very much. But I would definitely say there's a link to our Instagram on the website as well. Our Instagram shows specials, and our online ordering system will have whatever specials we're serving too.
But you also, because you have that beautiful outside space, and I know in the colder weather you had your heaters there, mm-hmm. so people can come and sit outside and enjoy your space and have something to eat as well.
Yeah,
which is really beautiful. It's not just takeout. You can sit and you can eat there. I was going to ask you, are there any outdoor events coming up? Like, what's coming down the pipeline?
Well, so we've been in communication with some of the other businesses on Liberty Street, and we were thinking maybe later this summer we're going to host a block party, like in the evening. And I don't know, we will cater it, and maybe there'll be live music. It's just an idea we're floating around with. But for right now, we're just 9 to 3.
Definitely, being an owner, and David's a chef in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. It certainly is a lot. What's your favorite thing to eat there?
Ooh, I think either the farmhouse skillet, which is quinoa and barley in a cast iron. It's got root vegetables and kale, eggs. I get mine with bacon and avocado. That's definitely one of my favorites. And I love to go back and put some gloves on and make myself a salad.
Yeah, okay. You make your own salad.
I do. I do kind of a halfway mixture between the Cobb salad that we serve, and depending on what other vegetables we have, just throw it all in there.
And I haven't eaten bacon in a really long time, but I have to say, when I do, and when I will again, it will be at your cafe, because you guys do bacon well, and not everybody does.
Yeah, it's really good.
And your bacon is delicious, mm-hmm. I have to say. And as are, just the eggs, even the gluten-free toast, which you make it in-house, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the food is delicious there. And I really appreciate you guys. And I appreciate all the trees on the property and all the fruit that gets filtered in.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you for that.
It's always good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, we all want to be acknowledged. Absolutely. And, that knowing that what we do is important to people and they appreciate it. And I think that acknowledgement is really important.
It is.
Anything else that you want to share or you want the community to know before we kind of, we're just running a little bit out of time, and I just want to have an opportunity to just talk a little bit about recipes, which I'd love for you to stay and join us with that. So any final thought for you?
I would just have to say that, through this past year, it's been a huge struggle for not just us, but a lot of restaurants everywhere. And we have survived because of our customers in this community. And we just want to say thank you to everyone who is loyal to us. Thank you to everyone who came by just one or two times, getting to see everybody and have a sense of normalcy was super important to us. And we're excited to continue to serve this community.
Yeah. Well, and you do it so well, Sydney. So
thank you.
Thank you. And maybe we'll have another opportunity to have David on, and
I hope so.
As we go more into the seasons and just enjoy what you guys do. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So we're going to talk a little bit about the background of our star ingredient today. Nemi, a town near Rome, is regarded as the strawberry capital of Italy. And every year from late May to the beginning of June, they host the well-known strawberry festival named Sagra della Fragole. And throughout the town, vendors sell strawberries of various sizes. And in the center of town, these rich crimson berries are tossed into huge glass bowls for the crowd to enjoy. And then they're made into delicious comestibles. According to an Italian legend, the goddess of love, Venus, was very sad after the king of her heart, Adonis, died. She cried and her tears turned into strawberries after contact with the ground. I love that. The ancient Romans thought strawberries had medicinal powers, and they used them to treat everything from depression to fever, bad breath, and even sore throats. Did you know that strawberries are botanically related to roses? And they have really wonderful elements that work beautifully together. Here is another little simple summer treat. An organic rose syrup mixed in with a big bowl of strawberries. You can add a little drizzle of kirsch if you wanted to, which is a colorless brandy, and serve it with some barely whipped cream. It's just another simple, elegant dessert. You could even make a coconut whipped cream if you don't want to have the dairy. So that's just another delicious way to utilize these sweet gems. And should you come upon a bush of them growing, you will see that they smell as sweet as they taste. Strawberries are among the top 20 fruits in antioxidant capacity and are an excellent source of vitamin C. Strawberries are also food for the skin, and this superfruit performs miraculously when it comes to rejuvenating your skin. If you're interested in a recipe to make your own strawberry face mask for glowing skin, visit my holistic skin and hair care website, LR Modern Alchemy. That's LRMODERNALCHEMY.com. And as we continue to cook our way through spring into summer, my magically moist strawberry shortcake is another delicious way that you could add to your gathering. And a fabulous kitchen essential that makes icing any cake a breeze are disposable piping bags. I use a piping tip, but you can just cut the corner of a plastic bag, to avoid purchasing an additional item. They're very affordable, however, and then you can just throw the plastic bag away, and that's really just an easy way to get your cake iced. For the full recipe on the strawberry shortcake, visit my website, laurierichardoni.com. That's Laurierichardone.com. And if you have any questions or comments, you could always contact me at laurierichardoni.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Also, the station's website, WPVMFM.org, has a food section under culture on the homepage that offers not only this delicious strawberry shortcake, but also a plethora of delicious seasonal inspiration. In addition, I feature a monthly article and a new recipe each month in Sophia Magazine. That's SOFIA, Sophia Magazine, which is right here in Asheville. And it is also offered digitally each month. And we continue to cook with the seasons in Sophia Magazine as well. For that seasonal shortcut I mentioned, a savory dessert that might surprise you. It's vanilla ice cream, strawberries, cut them up however you like, some fresh minced rosemary, and a drizzle of good quality balsamic vinegar. I like to serve it in a glass parfait glass. Voila, you have a beautiful, elegant dessert that is really simple and really delicious. I'd like to just extend a sincere thank you to all the listeners who have taken the time to join me today, in addition to Davine Dial, who makes the show possible. So please join me on Saturday, June 24th is our next show at 11 a.m. on WPVM LP 103.7 FM in Asheville, North Carolina. And as we continue the expedition of seasonal cooking, we will have a surprise guest as well. The bounty of June is on the horizon. It's pre-tomato season in June, but the first green beans, tender baby carrots, French radishes, tiny new potatoes fit quite nicely laid over some gem lettuces and bunches of herbs. Can you see where I'm going with this? Get that large Italian platter ready and invite some friends over for a simple garden party. It's a wonderful opportunity to pair it with that easy, elegant dessert. Or if you have the time, make that beautiful strawberry shortcake that is so delicious for a memorable gathering. I'd like to leave you with a final thought, food for thought. When creating a dish, ask yourself, what is my objective in the kitchen today? Is it to learn a new healthy recipe for my family? Is it thinking outside my routine of cooking? Or is it to impress my guests for an upcoming gathering? When we know what we're aiming for, it's easier to execute. And some ingredients do require a bit more care than others. So if your goal is to make a simple dish, then think of fresh seasonal ingredients that don't require a lot of time and patience to prepare. And if at first it doesn't turn out the way you would have liked it to, you can try again tomorrow. Until we meet, buon appetito.